God finally worked after like the fifth or sixth try. So I'm here. Thank you guys. Oh, it sound like I'm underwater? Oh man, thanks for letting me know. Dude, let me make sure that this thing is working. Oh, that's why.
There, is that better now? Can you hear me now? Is my audio better now? Y'all should be able to hear me now a lot better. All right, tell me if you can hear me now. Yeah, okay. Yes, you're all good now. Okay. Well, I had to go ahead and switch the audio settings here. I was using the audio settings from the, I guess, the built-in camera or whatever, or the webcam that I have. Oh, thanks for letting me guys. Thanks for letting me know that my audio was bad. Again, we're having some little technical problems just getting the show started. I was trying to hit go live for quite some time and it wasn't working. So I had to use another web browser and then okay, we finally got going. We're ready to go ahead and start. But thanks for the ones that are tuning in right now. Tim Gonzalez, Chris Gonzalez, Christopher Leja, and my boy here, Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs. I appreciate you all for tuning in. What is the Sprint commercial or T-Mobile, whatever the fuck it was? Good. Can you hear me now? That's what it was. That's what it was, Christopher Leal. That guy coming out saying, "Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?" Anthony L. What's up? What's up, man? How's it going, man? Thanks for joining me on this all new episode of the Alamo City Sportscast. So we're gonna go ahead and get into some football talk for this episode. We're gonna get into a healthy dose of football talk because we have the NFL preseason coming to an end. We do have a game coming up tonight, but this is going to be week 4 of 4. So you have the Lions and the Chiefs playing later on tonight at 7:20 p.m. along with the Bengals and Browns. That's going to happen on September the 10th. You have the Texans, Ravens, Buccaneers, Vikings. You have the Panthers and Falcons. I'm sorry. I'm talking about regular season. I'm talking about preseason. I'm sorry, man. I'm all messed up today. All these technical issues, they got me all messed up, man. I'm telling you. All right, now I got the preseason schedule right. The preseason's going to end this coming weekend. Tonight, or should I say tonight, we have, and I'm looking at this correctly. I hope I'm looking at this right. Week 4 of 4. There we go. NFL preseason today. We have the Steelers and Falcons happening at 6:30. Then you have the Colts and Eagles at 7. Tomorrow we're going to have the Lions and Panthers, Patriots and Titans. You're going to have the Chargers and 49ers, Bills at Bears. I know our good friend Carolina will be watching that one. You have the Seahawks and Packers. You have the Cardinals and Vikings. Then you have the Browns and Chiefs. All these games are going to be happening. Most of these are going to be happening on Saturday. And you have the Jets and Giants, Bengals, Commanders, Ravens, Buccaneers, Dolphins, Jaguars. And of course, you have the Raiders and my Dallas Cowboys playing on Saturday, August 26th at 7 p.m. Then you have the Rams and the Broncos. And then on Sunday, the lone game that's going to happen to go ahead and end the preseason is going to be the Texans and the Saints. I know a lot of fans are going to be watching that one because you have a lot of Saints fans here in Texas, especially in San Antonio. I don't know. Maybe it's because of that Katrina, when the Saints came to play over here. There's a lot of fans for the Saints here. And then, of course, the Houston Texans fans. They're going to be watching that game. Did Jimenez go on vacation or what? This Joker it's asking. No, what happened with Jimenez is Jimenez had to step away for for some personal reasons. We're not going to lie here. I mean, he's had some personal problems that he has to deal with. With the family and whatnot. So maybe sometime they're near the future or something, he might go ahead and come back. I mean, doors always open to him. I mean, we're still friends. I still keep in contact with him, checking on my brother, here and there. But just keep him in prayer, man. Just keep him in prayer. Yeah, hopefully he'll return sometime. College football schedule this Saturday. Yeah, man, exactly. What's up, Mike Baez from Bear County Social Apparel? He says, love you all. Love you too, man. Thanks for tuning in. And when the Cowboys are about 17 days away from kicking off their season. Well, the NFL season, should we say. So we're excited about that. I know I can't wait. I know a lot of other Cowboys fans can't wait for the season to start too. And every year, everybody always says, this is our year. This is our year. I don't know if this is our year or what. I'm just gonna be watching, man. Joe. Oh man, Jeff says, Joe, I'm going to have to call in now. Worst day ever. All right, man, brother. Well, if you got to call in now, go ahead and call in now, man. Hold on, man. Let me go ahead and get my boy Jeff on. All right, Jeff. Hold on, man. I'm getting you on right now. All right, Jeff, you're on, brother. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, man. Thanks for having me on, man. I'm trying to work with you, Joe. Like you worked with me when you couldn't do locked on video. So
Yeah,
I'm trying to
dude.
work with you to do Alamo City without video. But thanks for having me on. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, right now I'm talking about Dallas Cowboys. We're about 17 days away from the start of the season, and I've had the worst day ever too, Jeff. A lot of technical glitches before I even got, on the show here, trying to go live for the like 5-6 minutes, maybe more. I was
Usually
about to
it's the other
call.
way around. Usually it's the other way around.
It
Me
is.
having the tech issues, not you.
It is, man. Like every time Jeff tries to have some type of like, you know, go live or he's going to do something, like if he even gets near a computer and looks at it, like it'll catch fire. So this time it's my turn to have the technical problems, but I worked through it. So we're here, man. And they're already telling you, John Dwyer, when your money
Yeah, I see
bags,
that.
you call the
No,
shots.
no, that's not true, John. Let's be honest, Joe. What's the real truth? You called me last minute,
Yeah,
asking you
no,
want to
no.
come on, and I was very clear with you. I said it's a bad day. Most I could do is audio.
Yeah, it's funny to me because they think you're taking over the show. I was like, no, man. Like, I invited Jeff to come on so we could go ahead and have a discussion. I thought it was going to be a good discussion because it's Throwback Thursday, right? So we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about NFL talk. We're talking about the Cowboys getting their season ready to start off and how Cowboys fans are excited. And I know you're a Cowboys fan too, Jeff. Are
I
you
am.
excited
I am.
about the start of the season?
You know what? Every year in year out, I'm like, I got to see it to believe it. That's where I'm at. I have to see how they look at the end of the season. I got to see how Dak is playing before I make any assumptions about, oh, they're Super Bowl bound or deep playoff run. And that's just unfortunate. I think that's a lot of Cowboys fans. They've been jaded by now. Decades, Joe, decades of nothing, and all the hype. Romo's going to lead us to the promised land. Nothing. Dak's going to do it. Nothing. Dak and Zeke are going to be the next pairing. Nothing. So they gotta put up or shut up, Joe. That's where I'm at right
You
now.
believe it when you see it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with
Yeah.
you on that one, man. It's like every year, vamos para la Super Bowl. I'm like, oh man, I don't know, man. I just don't have
Yeah,
the feeling.
you were like that for a long time, right?
No, man, I was always realist. I was the realist. Everybody was saying I was the biggest Cowboy hater. I'm like, look, I love the team. I'm not a hater. I'm just a realist, man. Like,
Yeah.
how many years can you be let down before you finally say, man, you know what? I'm just going to watch the season. Whatever happens, happens. That's how I have the outlook on every single season. Because let's face it, Jeff. When was the last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl? Got to break out the VHS tapes. I heard it all before.
Yeah, no, I like what Dyer says here. Cowboys will be defensively lead. If he's trying to say that they'll be leading in defense, if that's what he's playing, I said sure, but you got to score points too. I mean, defense will get tired. Defense will slow down. They'll bend and eventually they'll break. You got to see Dak live up to that label of being. I mean, is he seriously considered a top 5 QB?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Dak they put him in the top 10, man. Top 5,
Oh man, I
don't
don't know
believe
about
that
that.
at all, man. He throws too many interceptions and is too inaccurate for me to have him in the top 5. But he did make the top 10 based on stats alone, so I'm not a
Yeah,
believer in
I'm
him.
I'm, I'm with Wiki One, where it says Cowboy preseason talk equals cow nose. Exactly. Got to
Exactly,
see it to
dude.
believe it. And I mean, sure, they could have gone undefeated. They could go undefeated in preseason. I wouldn't care. I just
Yeah.
got to see the real deal.
Christopher or Chris Gonzalez says, what happens first? The Cowboys win a Super Bowl or Yolanda gets released from prison?
Yolanda gets released from prison.
Yeah, man, for real. I read something on social media and they said the Cowboys aren't going to be able to go and have a successful season by moving into the postseason and moving on and winning the Super Bowl until Jerry Jones puts in Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor. So we'll see, man. Maybe that curse is real.
You really think that curse is legit?
I think it's legit, dude, because ever since he got rid of Jimmy, man, the Cowboys ain't been the same, dude.
Mm.
Reverse the curse, put Jimmy,
Yeah.
give him his flowers, man. Put him up there in the Ring of Honor, Let's see if that'll reverse the
So,
curse.
Is what about the flip though? Has Jimmy Johnson said he's willing to bury the hatchet, or is it just really Jerry Jones right now?
I think it's really Jerry Jones, man. Look, Jimmy, I think he's getting up there in age already. He's getting up there in years, and
Didn't he joke one time that he said that he would like to see his name in the Ring of Honor before he dies? Or he said something like, he goes, I'd rather see it now while I'm alive than when I die, something like
yeah,
that.
exactly. It was just like an offhanded comment, but I think
Yeah.
I take that as what it's worth, like he really wants to go ahead and be in that Ring of Honor. He deserves to be, If it wasn't for him, the Cowboys wouldn't have really been the team that they are, they were when they were going on those Super Bowl runs. So he definitely
Mhm.
deserves his flowers, man. Jerry just couldn't control Jimmy.
Hey, how did that beef start anyway? Like, how did it even begin?
I think it's because Jerry was the new owner coming in and he's wanting to go ahead and have things run his way. And Jerry, Jerry Jones is trying to impose his will. And Jimmy Johnson's like, well, I'm the coach. I run things my way. I'm Jimmy F. Johnson. I won Super Bowls. You don't tell me what to do. And, Jerry probably felt a certain way. And he's like, I can't control this boy. He's got to go, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that was it. That's basically it. But
so he should be in the Ring of Honor by now, right? Like
he should be. He's way overdue for being in that Ring of Honor. It's at this point, it's Jerry that's being petty. Jerry needs to do the right thing before he dies too. But let's face it, man. He's getting up there in age too. He's already what 80 something years old.
He's getting old.
He's getting old, man. Hey, but it wouldn't be Dallas Cowboy talk unless we had Dallas Cowboy drama. And over the weekend, we had a Dallas Cowboy defensive end, Sam Williams, who was reportedly arrested on charges of possession of controlled substances and unlawful carrying of a weapon. Unfortunately, it's not his first brush with the law. It seems like you can't have Cowboys talk without Cowboys drama. And as the season's getting ready to start, of course, you're going to have some drama. He was arrested last December because he was involved in a two-way car accident, which led to an arrest. And it was discovered that Williams was speeding up to 98 miles per hour. And that's not good. And his driving landed him and another driver in the hospital because he was going at a high rate of speed when he got into that accident. And then he gets arrested again. And then the stupid thing is that this time he's arrested with a gun and controlled substances. And Jerry, they went ahead and asked him, what do you think about that? And he says, first of all, he says, I'm seeing that he is, which is more often than the case than not. This sounds a little hollow, but he is maturing and he is what he says. What was he going 66 miles per hour when he was arrested this year? So he's 34 miles an hour less than last year. 98 to 66. That's an improvement.
That's one way of seeing it.
That's an improvement. He says, we'll keep working. We'll get it down. Like, bro, your boy just got arrested. And that's what you're going to say about him? Like, come on, Jerry. Like Jerry Jones needs to like say something. He's the leader of the whole franchise here. He's the owner. Say the right thing, Jerry. Like, punish your boy, do something. Do the right thing.
He's not going to punish him, is he?
No, of course not, man. He needs him on the team, because Jerry wants to win games. But to me, it's just stupid, man. Jerry Jones, he's just soft, man. But, we also have the start of college football season that's going to be starting this Saturday. You have Navy and Notre Dame kicking things off at 1:30. Then you have San Jose State and USC for the evening game on Saturday. So that game starts at 7 p.m. And there's going to be probably, a whole plethora of games that are going to be coming up, in the next coming weeks. And so you're going to have college football all over the place, which is great because that's another thing that people love. They love them some college football. And it's a perfect time to be a fan of sports. You have the NFL season that's about 17 days away. College football's kicking off. And not to just mention college football kicking off, we have local area high school football kicking off tonight as well. You have Ryan and New Braunfels that are going to be playing today. They're going to be playing at Mary Haddon Baylor Stadium. And you also have, of course, my boy goes to Stevens. So you have Stevens versus Churchill tonight at Gustafson Stadium. And that's a 7 p.m. tip. And you have Warren versus Laredo United, Ferris Stadium tonight. And you also have Denton Ryan against New Braunfels. And you're going to have Highlands versus Austin Crockett in the Alamo Dome today. So that's ahead of the Pigskin Classic that's going to be happening starting on Friday, and that's hosted by KSET though. But they're going to have a couple of schools. They're going to have Antonian versus Holy Cross on Friday. Then you're going to have Southside and Somerset on Saturday, and again on the Saturday game, Jefferson versus Uvalde and O'Connor versus Brandeis. So you have a lot of stuff popping off, over the weekend when it comes to football. Oh, let's see what they say. The only big things Diggs is getting. Oh my God, dude. Christopher Leah. He's flying off the walls. Tim Gonzalez, yes, college football. So everybody's excited about.
Did you see that IG thing or whatever it was that Diggs likes other types of things, apparently?
No.
Oh, I think Leha should tell everybody in so many words, maybe. Well, yeah, wait a minute. Hold on, Joe. This is YouTube, right? So you can have at it. So Leha, if Joe's okay with it, you can detail exactly what you saw, Leha, about Diggs.
Oh, I think he said he had something in his mouth.
Something like that.
I was like, oh God, man. Hey, but let's go ahead and talk a little bit about retro or throwback Thursday. The reason I brought you on the show is that the other day when you were on, I inadvertently forgot to go ahead and look and see it was the anniversary of something special here. So it was the anniversary of the Super Nintendo system being released, Jeff.
Look at that.
And I mean, you talk about a throwback, man. You're talking about going way back when, So the Nintendo Entertainment System was
Super
released
NES.
way back in August the 23rd of 1991. So we missed the anniversary by one day. But I wanted to go ahead and ask you, I mean, what are your fondest memories of actually getting the Super Nintendo? Do you remember the day or where you bought your first Super Nintendo?
You know what? It was at, I believe it was Sears in South Park Mall. And what I loved about it was this, Joe, was that we felt that it was the next best thing. It was the next graphics. Look at these graphics.
Yeah.
You go back now and you look at it like, oh my God, what were we thinking? Like, those are the graphics, but it was mind blowing. I remember the didn't one unit come with a gun, like the flash gun?
Oh no, I don't know if it came with the gun. That was the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo.
No, I know. But I think one other console, or was it? Or I'm thinking of that cannon-looking thing. Remember, there was like one thing, a shoulder-mounted cannon.
That was the Super Scope. That was the Super Scope.
Yeah, the Super Scope, and that was part of the Super NES.
Yeah, the Super NES. Yeah. And I think they had a bundle at one time where it included that.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, yes, it was a great system for its time, revolutionary. The first time 3D graphics were involved was Super Mario Brothers, right?
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers kind of had that scaling effect. They called it like Mode 7 or something like that. And you're already getting some feedback here. It says Super Mario Brothers on NES is the top 5 video game all time across consoles. He's not lying.
No. Hey, you know what? Speaking of video games, you know what movie you should see? It's on Apple Plus. It's about the Game Boy Tetris. It's a really good movie.
Really?
How it came. It's not like a documentary. It's a movie, like with actors and settings and a plot and everything of how the game Tetris came from Russia.
Yeah. And
then how the United States and China were involved, and how there's one leading programmer or vendor, I should guess, as to say how he brought it over to the United States. And it's like almost like a spy thriller, and it's pretty good though.
Yeah, it is pretty good. I was looking at some of the top 10, top 25. They have these lists, of what is the best Super Nintendo game of all time? Like, what makes the top of your list? And when I started thinking about it, at the end of the day, I'm like, what game really, really got me intrigued? Like, it grabbed me, and I had to be there for hours on end trying to finish this, staying up all weekend. And for me, it was Super Metroid. I remember when we bought that game, me and my buddies, and we played it, like we brought it on a Friday, right? And we played it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Like, we had no sleep, and we still weren't getting anywhere because that game was extremely hard and you had to figure things out. But that game was the one that, like, to me, that's in my top. That's one of my top games.
For me, I don't know about top, but as far as just wanting to complete it, for me, it was either Super Ghouls and Ghosts
Oh, that was
Um,
extremely hard, man.
that
Difficult
was
game.
gonna be yeah, that was a real technical game. And then Contra 3, Alien Wars.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah,
those
that one's a
those are
good one.
those are two that I really wanted to try.
Yeah, what
I always got stuck with Mega Man. Like I think it was Mega Man X, I think,
X?
or 10
Yeah,
or something.
Mega Man X.
Yeah, yeah. So that one. But I mean, how could we forget about Star Fox though?
Oh, dude.
Star Fox for me. I know there was Super Mario on the NES, but Star Fox, whoo, that one got a lot of my attention.
Yeah, we got some comments here in the wiki. One was saying that was Yoshi game had a gun. Yeah, that Yoshi game had a gun. I remember that one. That's
Okay, so
probably
I wasn't losing my mind. I knew there was a gun involved. Like
yeah, the
it
Super
came with,
Scope. Yeah, that was the
but
Yoshi
it was like,
Safari game.
but it looked like a cannon, right?
Yeah, it looked like a cannon. You had this big old thing you had to hold, and it had like a little scope that you looked through and all that.
Do you remember when I think it was either Donkey Kong game or I think it was a Donkey Kong game that came with bongos that you have to
Oh, it was
play.
Donkey Konga. That was for the GameCube, dude. I got that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that game was pretty badass, dude. I love that game. But
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was for the
it was a
GameCube.
good game. Yeah,
Yeah, but
but
no,
no, it was exciting, Joe. It was exciting. It was an exciting time. And we thought like, how could it get any better? And then there was the competition. I think Genesis was coming around, right? The Sega Genesis was
yeah,
around that time.
Sega
So
Genesis.
are you Team Genesis? Are you Team Nintendo? Nobody wanted to admit they were Team Genesis though.
Because they're the games. The games played great on the Genesis, but they looked a little muddy because it didn't have
Yeah.
as many colors on screen that it was able to display on screen like the Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo might have been a little slower because it
Mm-hmm.
did so much as far as like the audio and then the visuals and all the colors and stuff. It was very vivid, especially
Mm-hmm.
when it was to came to recreating the arcade games. Case in point, Street Fighter 2. I mean, that
Mm-hmm.
was the game back in the day. I mean, we played that
Mm-hmm.
one religiously, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure. And when you look back at the Super NES, and just to see how far how just the gaming industry has come. Now it's on your cell phone or VR with those goggles.
Yeah.
My nephew, he's with the whole VR games. Like he loves playing VR games. I tried it and I got motion sickness. I couldn't handle it.
Yeah. Oh, remember this one too, Mike Bias, Bear County Social Peril. Eternal Champions on the Genesis. That game was low key fire, dude. That was a fighting game, and I like that game. And it came out for the 32X as well. And then you
Mm-hmm.
have other people putting in here. Donkey Kong Country, bro. That was the game back in the day, man.
Was Mortal Kombat 3 on the Super NES?
Yeah, it was on the Super NES, and it was good.
Okay,
It
yeah.
was a good rendition of it as well because when they finally decided to include the blood, because the Super Nintendo version of Mortal Kombat, the first one, didn't have blood in it. It was like white blood or something, It looked
Mm-hmm.
dumb. But then when they came to Mortal Kombat 2, I think that's when they had the inclusion of blood, and then the same thing with Mortal Kombat 3. It looked
Mm-hmm.
really good on the Super Nintendo, but I think it played better on the Genesis because, again, the Genesis probably had a faster processor. But games, man, I love those games. I mean, what did you think of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? For the Super Nintendo, where does that rank in your list of maybe top 5 or
It's
top 10?
okay. Was that Turtles in Time? I think.
Yeah, Turtles in Time.
Uh, it's all right. It was good. It was, I mean, for me. It was just you had Super Castlevania, you had Contra Alien Wars, you
Yeah.
had like I mentioned Ghouls and Ghosts, and the Metroid as you brought up. There were just so many. I think Turtles gets lost in the shuffle.
I think it does, but it's a good low key game, man. Like you had like the 2-player action and the big sprites, great graphics and everything. I mean, it's a game that's still classic. I remember my kids still like playing that game.
Mm-hmm.
They love playing that game, and I do too. Still, I play it, and it throws you back, to that nostalgia. And of course, Chris Gonzalez brings up a good one, man. And this is one that's right there with me, man. It's one of the top games in my book. NBA Jam, but I like the NBA Jam, and I like the NBA Jam TE Tournament Edition.
And I like NBA Jam, but I prefer it on a cabinet. I don't know why. I prefer it on the quarter cabinet, like the old school stand up. Go to the Chuck E. Cheese for the theater, and you play it there.
Yeah. Oh, Mike Bias, should I say? He's saying the Atari Jaguar is a forgotten console that was really great. It was great, the Atari Jaguar. They had some bangers for that one too, but it was one of those
But
consoles.
why did it die though?
it didn't gain a lot of popularity, and I think it was because of its price point. It was kind of priced a little too high at the time, and then it didn't
Hmm.
have very many games. It didn't have like a good library of games, and I think that's kind of what doomed it. They didn't have good third party development, so you paid a lot for a system that you really couldn't play a lot of games on. Same thing happened with the 3DO. That clunky system
Hmm.
that came out, and it was a CD based system, and it was kind of ahead of its time when it came to that, but it just again didn't have a good plethora of games. The same thing with that Philips CDI system, didn't have a
Hmm.
good plethora of games, and they were priced too high. So the 16-bit consoles were king until you came across something called the PlayStation, and then
Oh
that's
yeah,
all she wrote.
that did it. That did it. Yeah, I can still hear the power up sound that boom
Of course,
on
man.
the on PlayStation. And then they didn't have like sparkles kind of swirl in a
Yeah, I had
circle,
that
stuff like
iconic
that. Yeah,
music. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh man,
yeah. It was.
look at this one, Jeff. Lion King on SNES was unbeatable. Dude, that game was hard as hell.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I never played it, but I heard that the Lion King was pretty rough, man. Like I think it was the jumping from tree to trees. Like there
Yeah,
was a
man.
level where that was really rough. But Ghouls and Ghosts was tough too. I mean, Contra was tough too.
Yeah.
Castlevania got really difficult at times.
Yeah, Earthworm
Zelda,
Jim, dude. Earthworm
Zelda.
Jim. Remember that one?
Oh yeah, they made a cartoon about that too.
Yeah,
Zelda, after a while, got kind of like tedious.
it was just long because you had the two maps. You had to finish the one map and then you had to finish the other one. There was two,
Hmm.
So that was a long game, but it was a lot of fun. I love Zelda games. So that one when it came on the SNES, that's another one. Me and my boys stayed up all night trying to finish that one, and it
Did
was
you
a
finish it?
we finally did, but it took us a couple days. But it was a lot of
Mm.
fun trying to, trade off. Somebody take a nap, somebody would pick up the helm, and get the
Nobody figured that.
controller, and then wake up. What happened? What did I miss? So it was fun, dude. And the other games that I enjoyed too was going to be like not besides the NBA Jam. I liked F-Zero, Super Punch Out, that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
I know you played that one. Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3, they were all good. I enjoyed all of them. I even liked ActRaiser. I don't know if you ever played ActRaiser, but that one was pretty badass. But the one
Sounds familiar.
the one you can't say that you were a true fan of the SNES and you hadn't played it. You had to play it. Super Mario Kart, bro. That game just I mean, there was some heated battles and people would get so pissed off.
Yeah,
Broken
yeah, yeah.
controllers, dude. Especially when you're doing the balloon races, where you had the balloon fight, you're going through the maze and you're trying to bust everybody's balloon to finally
Hmm.
hit them and you get points, and everybody's always trying to fight for the red shells and whatnot. Man, I was unbeatable in that game, that one-on-one match. They couldn't beat me, dude, no matter what. I remember I dispatched one of my buddies like in 3 seconds, dude. I just got those
Wow.
red shells and it was like boom, 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 done. That game I was just going off, man. We would put money
No,
on it and everything.
yeah. I haven't seen the recent movie yet.
Oh, you haven't
The
seen it?
Mario Brothers. No, I haven't seen
That
it
was
yet.
a good one, dude. You should check it out.
I still have yet to see Ninja Turtles, the newest movie too.
I thought you saw it.
No, I didn't see it after all.
Oh man, I thought you. Well,
Yeah,
you
I
went
haven't.
to the
No,
little pop up that they had in New York.
I went to the pop up, yes, but I didn't go to see the movie though.
Yeah, you could check it out, dude. It's a good movie. You should check it out, but maybe you could wait till it comes out on the streaming devices or
Yeah, yeah.
something.
I think they come out pretty fast on streaming now, right?
Yeah, it should probably be out here in probably another week or so.
So what's the point of them go to the theater then? Just gotta wait a couple weeks.
Now you get the theater experience, man. You got to get to see the film on the big screen with the nice speakers, the sound system and everything.
Yeah,
Hey, but for me, I didn't even pay to go see it. I saw it for free because I got to
yeah.
go in with the media, but it was badass either way. I enjoyed it.
Hmm.
I thought it was a really good rendition for this generation. I mean,
Hmm.
we're kind of sticklers because we're the OGs and we knew what it was like back in the 80s. But
Hmm.
it's different, but it's still good.
Yeah.
I
All
enjoyed it.
right.
But if I mean, we're talking about the SNES games, and some of your favorites, so some of the ones that really stood out in your eyes. And I got to ask you, man, like out of all these Super Nintendo games that you played, what was one that was kind of obscure that you enjoyed, but not a lot of people knew about?
Man, that one's tough, man. See, I would say Killer Instinct, but no, Killer Instinct was already known
Yeah, it was
at that
known.
time. It was, yeah, it was already known. Maybe, whew, man, I'm really having a dig in my memory here. Maybe, I think there's a game called Demon Quest or something like that,
Oh,
or
Demon's
Demon's
Crest.
Crest. Yes,
Yes, dude, that was a
yeah, yeah,
sleeper, man. That was a good one.
yeah. But other than that, no, no. But yeah, I mean, it's good to walk through memory lane here, man. I wish I still had my Super NES. I think my parents sold it, or handed it down to my little cousins, and then I don't know what they did with it. But yeah, Joe. But unfortunately, Joe, I got to go. It
Yeah,
was a
man. I know
pretty
our
bad
time's
day
up.
today. Yeah, man. But I appreciate you coming on. And just to let everybody know, got a couple good articles today on the yours truly. Follow me on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. Get ready for Sticker Shock. Go see how much tickets are selling for your silver and black on the secondary market. Go look. You will say like, "Yep, I'm watching all the games on TV moving forward." And then also, apparently, the experts at ESPN think that Chet Holmgren is going to be Rookie of the Year and
Oh
not
man.
Wemby. So go check it out. Follow me on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. But Joe, there are people knocking on my door, man. I gotta go.
All right, man. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you.
Yes, sir. Bye
Bye.
bye.
All right. So shout out to Jeff Garcia, man. He's always coming on. And I told him if you wanted to go ahead and make a guest appearance because we're going to be talking a little bit about nostalgia. He was supposed to come on later, but I mean, it's been a crazy day for him. He's always crazy busy. So unfortunately, we had to get him in sooner. So we'll still go ahead and keep on the sports talk here. But before we move on, I'm going to go ahead and pause for a second here so we can hear a word from our sponsors. Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on threads at Jeff G Ken's 5 SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow not only on threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/at Locked On Spurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Yeah, so make sure you do follow Jeff there at Jeff G Spurs Zone on Twitter, and you can go ahead and check out the Locked On Spurs replays over at the Locked On Spurs YouTube channel. So as we go ahead and move forward here, we're also going to talk a little bit about these standings. I always got to go and bring those up for you guys. The MLB standings, and everybody's looking at the Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros. Woke up again this morning just to go ahead and see what happened. I believe the Astros did lose to the Red Sox yesterday. So that drops some, I think, 2 games right now in the loss column behind the Texas Rangers. They still have the same amount of wins at 72 each, but the Texans are 72-54, while the Houston Astros are 72-56. But follow closely behind the Astros are the Seattle Mariners. They're at 71-56. So this is going to be a heated race right here in the AL West. The Astros just got to keep winning, and the Rangers, they just got to keep losing. So I know a lot of Rangers fans were really scared at this point. Let's just put it like that, because they know that their damn Rangers are always called the choke artist, and we hope that they can finally put it together this season. But it's not looking good right now. Hopefully, they can find ways to win games and stay ahead of the Astros. But you also have that wild card race coming in too, and that's also heating up. And as the wild card stands today, you still have the Tampa Bay Rays. They're still 5 games ahead of the Houston Astros. The Astros are behind them by 5 games. They're at 72-56, while the Rays are at 77-51. And again, the Astros are closely followed by the Seattle Mariners at 71-56. So it's anybody's game still. Just need to keep on winning. Christopher Leha, Jeff had steak and lobster delivered today. That's probably what the knock at the door was, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. He probably did have some, bougie food delivered, and he didn't want nobody to see him on camera. That's why he called in on the phone. Oh, look, there you go. He said there was a Chester Cheetah game on the SNES back in the day. There was, and there was also a game with the what was it, the Sprite dot. You know how you have the logo of Sprite and it has that little dot. There was a video game about that guy. I think he was Spot or something like that. Christopher Layup, Pinches Stros fucked up last night. Yeah, they did, man. They could have. That was one that they should have won against the Red Sox, man. But it is what it is. And what does he say? It's hurt. They should have traded him to the Rangers or Astros when they had the chance. It is what it is in that regards, man. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that the MLB race there, the AL wild card and the AL division, it's getting heated now. This is going to be something that I think Rangers and Astros fans are going to be watching closely, and they're going to have their fingers crossed because I think it's going to come down to like maybe the last one or two games of the season. But we got some other news that came across the Twitters, should I say. And check this out, man. I know that, you know, Skip Bayless is going and building his little dream team over there for his show, on FS1. And then you have Screaming A. Smith over here with ESPN. And Shannon Sharp used to be the co-host of that show with Skip, and he left because he probably couldn't stand Skip no more. I don't think a lot of people can stand Skip anymore. That's why he's getting that plethora of all-stars with him now because he knows that they can't stand him. So what does Screaming A. Smith do? He went ahead and got Shannon Sharp. So now that's going to be, I guess he's going to make his first appearance, from what I understand, on September the 4th. I like this one, Christopher Leah. Bro, first take is just going to be nothing but yelling with both of them on there. I think it's going to be fun, but you're right, dude. It's going to be nothing but yelling. And if you're watching First Take, I don't really watch it all that much at all, maybe once in a long while. It's just there for entertainment. Nobody takes what they're saying and they're like, hey, this is Bible. This is something that we got to go ahead and really listen to. You don't listen to First Take for that. You listen to see Screaming A. Smith yelling up there on the screen. That's all that is. But either way, that's what's going to happen now with ESPN's First Take. They're going to have Shannon Sharp premiere on the show there. So let me go ahead and take another quick pause here and do another read here for one of our sponsors. JPAR Real Estate has been a proud sponsor of ours since day one. Check out Cynthia J. Sanchez. Her reviews can't be wrong because all of the people that she sells homes to, they give her 5 stars and say that she is prompt, that she is understanding, that she communicates well, that she calls back, that she answers questions correctly. And yes, they say that she is good at what she does. If you are in the market to buy a home, sell a home, whether it be a rental property, primary residence, or Airbnb, reach out to Cynthia J. Sanchez from JPAR Real Estate. Her number is 210-273-0748. She has 16 years of experience in real estate and is a former claims adjuster with USAA, so she knows what she's looking for when she's showing you those pre-owned homes. Give Cynthia J. Sanchez a call at 210-273-0748 for all your real estate needs. Yeah, so make sure you do go ahead and give Cynthia J. Sanchez a call there for all your real estate needs. If you're looking to buy a home or even go ahead and buy a rental property and maybe rent it out as an Airbnb, go ahead and give Cynthia J. Sanchez from JPAR Real Estate a call at 210-273-0748. And also, we greatly appreciate her because she's been a sponsor of this show since day one. So I'm going to go ahead and get back to the chat here and go ahead and see what you boys are saying. Chris Gonzalez, man. Or Wiki One, this is funny. Sharp and Steven will agree more than each other than they ever did with Skip individually. Probably. That's not a lie there. And Chris Gonzalez says, let me go ahead and show the comment here. I'm sorry. Do we still need to have a show like First Take or that other show? The shows have jumped the shark. They have, and I think the only reason they put them out there is because they get to go ahead and sell them to the sponsors, because they still have names that are very recognizable. But beyond that, the shows have just gotten ridiculous, and a lot of people have stopped tuning in. I think that that style of show is slowly starting to come to an end because people are now starting to go ahead and gravitate more towards YouTube or social media to see the other shows that other people are doing, and even other sports networks that are just strictly online, or just on social media such as YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. People like seeing that more because you have more of a deeper discussion when it comes to sports than somebody screaming at you all the time trying to push their narrative on you. And let's see what he says here. It says, I get it though. It's like the WWE almost. Some shows need a heel or a bad guy to really make the show pop up and have more contrast, aka Skip Bayless. Yeah, I mean that's basically all it is. When you're watching that, it's just somebody just screaming, yelling at the screen, saying outrageous stuff to go ahead and get the ratings up, so people can go ahead and say, "Oh, look at this fool. Let me go ahead and retweet him. Let's make fun of him." But by doing that, you're just going ahead and feeding their narrative. That's what they want. They want to go ahead and say something stupid like that. That way, everybody goes ahead and tweets them, talks about them, and gives them free publicity. So it's very let's say strategic in what they're doing. They make it seem like, oh, he really believes this. He's talking nonsense. He's crazy. No, they know exactly what they're doing. Yeah, Tim Gonzalez. I stopped watching that show. I'm gonna be honest, I don't watch it at all either. I mean, if I see a clip or something pop up on my Twitter feed, that's how I know about it. But I'm not actively tuning in and saying, "Oh, this is a show I can't miss. I got to record it." No, man, I don't give a damn about no Screaming A. Smith. Get that guy or Quan or Hollywood Nixon to do their shit takes. Oh my god, dude. And Tim Gonzalez, what else do you say? I watch ACC PM on ACC Network. It's a better show. You know what I watch more? One of my boys told me about this, man. And I've been watching this. If you go and you have like Pluto TV or something like that, you can go ahead and watch like the CBS Sports Network, and their coverage of the daily happenings of the sports world. It's really good because they give you like really quick, little segments of, hey, this is what's happening today with football or golf or basketball or racing or what have you. But the way that they have their presentation, it's a lot more streamlined, and it's easier to watch because you don't got nobody screaming or yelling in your face when you're watching that. So I know me and my boy Jonas Clark, we watch that. We'll probably leave it on the back, playing it in the background while we're doing some work, video editing or audio editing or something, for some of the other let's say podcasters that I assist. But that's a good sports show or channel to check out if you got Pluto TV, or even if you have Hulu, for that matter. I have Hulu Live with live TV, and I go and tune into CBS Sports, and I just check that out, as they have their daily dose of sports entertainment and whatnot. And that's a lot better to me than ESPN. But that's just my opinion, though. I'm just saying. Now, we also do have news here. UTSA is going to be ready to kick off the season here by next weekend. Next Saturday, they're going to go ahead and have their season kick off here on September the 2nd at 6 p.m. They're going to be playing Houston. So on the September the 9th game, they're going to be playing Texas State. That's going to be an earlier game. That tips off at 2:30. But either way, I know that Roadrunner fans across the Alamo City are getting excited to go ahead and start seeing Roadrunner football once again. And I can't wait to go and see the UTSA play in the Alamo Dome and take in some of the tailgating that's out there. It's a good scene, man. Like, we'll let you know when I'm going out there, and when all of us are going to go out here for the Alamo City Podcast Network. So maybe you guys can come over and chill with us, and have some drinks maybe before the game, have some fun. Then we'll go check out the game. So we'll let you know what tailgate we're going to be at, because I know one of my boys, he heads up one of the tailgates out there and is always inviting. So we're going to go ahead and definitely check that scene out. And I don't know if you all saw this or not, but man, Kevin Hart, man, that I saw a video of him earlier today on social media, and it was making me laugh because men, when you get a certain age and you're getting up there in age, you still feel like the heart is willing. Like you can still do these things, man. You can still go out there and run the 40-yard dash like Kevin Hart thought he could against a former NFL player. It didn't end up well for Kevin Hart. I think he's like 44 years of age already, and he just got that stupid inkling in his mind that, you know what, I can still do this at my age. So he started to go and do a 40-yard dash, a race against one of these against his friend who's a former NFL player. And Kevin Hart, unfortunately, he tore his lower abdomen and both abductors, he says. Now he's wheelchair bound. He can't move, So he's like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever done. He's like, he couldn't believe how dumb he was, and actually trying to say, hey, I'm faster than this guy, a pro athlete. I mean, that's probably the top of the list of the stupidest things that you can do when you get a certain age. The body don't work like it used to, man. You know, you're more of a spectator than a participant at this time. So he fucked around and found out. You know, that's for damn sure. Oh, there you go. Mike Bias says we'll be in the house for the Texas State game. Okay, cool, dude. We probably got to meet up, man. We're gonna have to go ahead and schedule that, dude, to everybody to meet up and go to one of these tailgates. Because man, the UTSA tailgates are really nice, dude. Moneybags needs to be at a UTSA game. He's gonna be moving back home already, man. I can't tell you when or how it's or what date, but he's gonna be moving back home, and we can go ahead and maybe Jeff will go and want to take in a game, a UTSA game with us. Jeff is here watching this. Says Hart is not funny whatsoever. I don't really care for the guy as a comedian either, but he's just too damn old to be running out there, man. Especially when you're up there in your 40s, dude. Just don't, man. You're gonna tear something. The knees don't work. The ankles don't work. You're gonna wind up tearing a muscle in your freaking calf or something, dude. It's just not gonna end well, man. You're more of a spectator, dude. Just sit down. Just tell everybody of the days of old when you used to be something. Everybody used to be something. And Wiki One said, just started a new dynasty on NCAA 14 with UTSA as Jeff Traylor. Downloaded the revamped 2023 update with UTSA 2021 roster. Sincere McCormick is a 98. Hey, man, Sincere McCormick, dude, that dude could run the shit out of that ball, man. I remember when I was up there in the media area watching the UTSA games for Project Spurs and for my own podcast, Two Shots Podcast. I was asking people when I first saw Sincere McCormick, I said, man, who is this kid, dude? Like, he was really good. So I'm trying to get to all these comments, man. You all have a lot of comments in here. I'm trying to get to most of them, but there's a lot. I try. But either way, man, I thought it was funny with Kevin Hart, And then I saw this other thing. So the Sony is going ahead and rolling out this new portable device that they're calling the PlayStation Portal. And I checked it out and I'm like, okay, is it going to be something that Sony's going to try to get into the, let's say, arena now with Nintendo, right? Because you have the Nintendo Switch. I'm looking at this Portal device. It's $200 and it has the controllers, the Sony PlayStation 5 controllers already attached to it. It looks like nothing more than a damn tablet, with controllers attached to it. And that's exactly what this thing is, man. $200 for something that you can't really take with you on the road. You're going to be able to stream, I guess, your PlayStation 5 games to the PlayStation Portal device for $200. That just doesn't make sense to me, man, to pay that much money for something that is not a true portable. So I think Sony is just going to miss the mark, so to speak. I don't think this is really going to be a hit. So $200, man, for something that you can just go ahead and say, I have another screen. So if somebody is using the TV and I want to play, games on a PlayStation 5, I'll just break out this device. So I'm just like, another wasted $200. You could waste that on something else. Maybe a night of drinking, with your boys. Christopher Lehal, hey, Moneybags, House of Steak and Lobster, they delivered. They did. It said Chris Gonzalez. So Sony is releasing a PlayStation Portable that is bigger. It's not really a portable though. It's not like a PSP back in the day where you could go ahead and like put games in there and go ahead and play that on the road or whatnot. For this stupid device, it sounds dumb as hell. You're paying $200 for something that you have to be connected to your Wi-Fi network with, and you have to be at home because it's going to be able to stream the games that you already have on your PS5. You're going to be able to stream them to that portable device. So I don't know how that's going to really take off with everybody. So I think it's just $200 is a waste of money on that thing. Is it, did the Steam Deck take off? I don't think so, man. I don't really hear a lot about it. Can you put it in your pocket? Nope, you can't put that in your pocket. And then Jeff is asking, are the councils dying? I don't know if they're dying, but they are changing, man. That's one thing for sure. I think we're going to wind up seeing probably in the next, I don't know, 1 or 2 generations. And you already saw this with kind of with the Xbox, where they release consoles that no longer have the CD drive. It's just going to be all portable. You're going to have to be able to, in order to play these games, you're going to have to subscribe to their whatever subscription service that they want to roll out with you. And that's basically how you're going to be able to play your games from here on out. There's not going to be physical media anymore. I think the physical media aspect of things is dying out. So we're going to see where the future of console gaming is going. But I think it's going to probably cost a little bit more to actually produce the hardware, but it's all going to be online probably within the next 1 to 2 generations, so we'll see how that goes. But portable devices, there ain't nobody going to beat Nintendo in my regards for that. Nintendo has that down, locked down pat. So hey, let me go ahead and read another sponsor here, another ad read for one of our sponsors before we start bringing the show to a close. Serenity Manor is an events venue located at 14405 Old Bandera Road, across from Flores Country Store, set in a historic building that is over 100 years old. You can have a baby shower, bridal showers, quinceañeras, sweet 16s, corporate events, weddings. There's an indoor and outdoor venue with a dance floor and a sand volleyball court out in the back, set under the shade of the trees, and there is beautiful lighting in the evenings. Serenity Manor is a very beautiful place that is very family oriented, and they have rotating Thursday nights. They have karaoke and game nights. They also have a bar that serves beer, wine, and margaritas. So after a concert at Flores Country Store, you can go over diagonal across the street, catty corner, grab a beer, get away from the crowd, and check out the beautiful Serenity Manor. So there you go. Make sure you do go check out Serenity Manor. They're located at 14405 Old Bandera Road in Helotes, Texas. So let me go ahead and get back here to the chat, see what you guys are doing. Let's hide this here on stream. There we go. Jeff is saying, let me go ahead and put this on there. Joe, our GameStop stores dying too. They are, man. Have you ever gone to a GameStop now? They don't even sell games a lot. They have a lot of merchandise now in there, like Funko Pops and hats and action figures, collectibles, that kind of stuff, So they're trying to find ways to make money, but slowly the gaming stores are dying, man. Nothing will ever beat the Gamecast console. Yeah, I think you're talking about the Dreamcast, man. Yeah, the Dreamcast was dope, dude. Hanover Fist. Every time I play Serenity Manor, he always says Serenity now, dude. I know where you're getting that from. That's funny, dude. I think that's from from Seinfeld. All right, boys. Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode because I got to get ready to go to work. So I will see you guys tomorrow, and I'm going to have a special guest on. We're going to be talking a little bit about some pop culture and geek talk. He's going to be the guy that's heading up the CadaverCon over in Portland, Texas, which is in between Rockport and Corpus Christi. He's going to talk a little bit about that, his convention that's coming up, and about the guests that are going to be out there. He's going to have a lot of voice actors and celebrities you can take pictures with. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that a little bit on Friday, along with some sports and pop culture talk. So we'll go ahead and see you guys then. I'm out. Peace.